Hey, everybody. Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. Welcome to the Minnesota Bound podcast, the stories behind the stories, brought to you by our good friends at Star Bank. Well, tonight's episode is going to be a really fun one. It is about fishing dreams that actually come true. Let me explain a little bit more. Each spring, I try to get to the Minnesota Muskie Expo, which is just kind of a big get-together for people who sell muskie baits and love to muskie fish. And then a year ago, I had my boys at the event in St. Paul, and I love to go and look at all the curious sort of custom-made baits made by local small companies, small businesses. And Brady, my older son, 10 years old at the time, points to this bait sitting on a counter that's a popper, and it's like the size of a can of Coca-Cola. And it had just this really cool, unique look. And it was funny because I remember as soon as I looked at that bait, I thought, you know what? There is a story behind that bait. And sure enough, this weekend's Minnesota Bound episode is all about the S&S Bait Co., the Stennes sisters. Erica and Shanna, are you guys there?
We are. Hello.
We've tracked you down from the North Woods. You guys are up in Bemidji, Minnesota, and you guys own your own bait company with probably one of the most unique baits in Minnesota right now. Start by talking about what your baits are. What are they?
Well, we make wind lures for muskies, pike, bass, but they're big, and we focus mostly on topwater action. So we do big poppers, which is kind of what we're known for. We have a couple of other styles too, but we do a big wood popper, and then we paint with some pretty exciting patterns, we'll say, and little unconventional patterns.
Yeah, they're beautiful and they're very artistic, but they catch fish. Yes. Shanna and I went out one morning and it was like every other cast, honest to goodness, and we were catching fish. It was a really exciting moment.
Super fun.
But like stories like this just don't happen. How did two sisters end up in the fishing bait business?
We grew up in a little town south of here called Nevis, Minnesota, and our dad was a music teacher, so he was home in the summers. We spent a lot of summers on the lake that we grew up on. It was a little natural lake down there, and we just we'd either fish off of our dock or fish off of our paddle boat that we had, and we'd just tweak our lures and make new lures. And my dad taught me woodworking, and so I would take various items, wood, cork, bottle tops, and old lures, and really just kind of tweak them to our own needs.
You guys are such liars. I know the real story. Didn't you go fishing so you didn't have to work on Dad's projects?
Well, there was that, that's why we had to come up with material because the cost wasn't there.
Wasn't the story like he'd decide to, I don't know, put a new wall on the house or something on a summer day, and you'd be like, yeah, we're out of here.
Totes. Yes, absolutely. I would be out of there. I'd be already on the pontoon.
and the fishing was the release for you guys.
Absolutely.
So you grow up, you continue to work on baits, and now it is a legitimate business. I mean, when you walk into a bait shop in Bemidji, there under the glass at the front counter are your baits.
Yes, it's awesome. We've really noticed, especially in the last couple of years, it's just been exploding with how many people have contacted us. And the spring is, with what's been going on, there's so much uncertainty. We have been bombarded with bait shops and gift shops that want to sell our lures. So it's been amazing beyond, with the website orders and that kind of stuff. It's the response to our baits has been amazing, and the people catching the fish, and it's awesome.
So you make some swimming baits too, but like you said, part of the appeal for you guys is creating a top water bait. Why is that so much fun? Why is top water fishing so exciting?
It's that top water blow up.
Right. Yep.
I think I had one of those with my 9-year-old this morning when he didn't clean up after breakfast. But you cast these baits out, glass calm water. Say you're out there in the morning, and the only thing you hear are the birds waking up and the popper kind of skipping across the water. And it's that familiar sound, bloosh, bloosh, and then the bait just disappears in a splash.
And
It's
your
amazing.
heart thumps.
And your heart thumps.
Yeah, they're amazing moments. And Erica, going back to what you said, the paint schemes aren't necessarily classic to fishing baits, meaning you don't paint them to look like a perch or a bluegill. There's some cool sort of frog pattern sort of things, but they're almost like folk art.
Right.
I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but
No.
they just are very unique. You look at one of your baits and you know exactly who made it.
Awesome. Well, it's an impressionistic style. But I guess for me, I've always just felt that patterns on baits, unless they add a skin or unless it's, like a holographic paper or something, they're pretty simplistic. And I enjoyed the hobby of painting the lures for quite some time. And so I just kind of wanted to try new stuff. I wanted to mix up materials. I wanted to make it so that I could kind of mimic what it looks like without being identical. Because there's, amazing people out there doing replica type work, they're phenomenal. And I don't even want to try to compete with that. I want to give more of a layered impressionistic feel of how that fish will flash and how it will look under the water as the fish looks up into the top water. And that's kind of how my style is.
And the first time you guys told me some of the names of the colors and the baits, I started to giggle like a little school kid. Like, what are some of the names?
That's like
I believe you got Frogachino.
Yes, Frogachino. Exactly.
Frogachino. And
that was a flashy one.
Yep. We named one. We even named one after you, Bill. We did a Bill Frog pattern after you came by.
That's awesome. The Bill Frog. But that's like part of the fun of the whole thing, right? This is meant to be an adventure in creativity and just the magic of fishing.
Yes.
I know that sounds thick, but that's kind of the reality. You're not doing this so you can buy a new Learjet.
No, we could never make enough lures to get to that millionaire baller status. It's just not really possible. It's for the love,
Yeah.
We don't want to have replicas. We don't made. We want to have original wood baits. We don't want to get to that moment where we have to, subcontract out our bodies or.
Right. Right. So going back to something you guys mentioned earlier, gift shops.
Mm-hmm.
There is a quality about your baits when you look at them. Yeah, you want to fish them, but it's the kind of thing like, I'm guessing people want to put them above the fireplace too.
They do. And we get a lot of response. Originally, when we first started out, the majority of our response actually was more gifts and art show type, feedback, people that were buying them to give or to put on their mantle or as decor. And, of course, as people that are trying to, make a business, you don't want to ever discourage a sale. But at the same time, a little bit of, Shannon would always say, a little bit of my heart is on the shelf there. It's made to fish. You're supposed to get it out there and catch fish with it.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. By the way, you are listening to the Minnesota Bound podcast, the stories behind the stories. We have the proprietors and the brains behind S&S Bait Co., the Stennes sisters. Of course, this episode brought to you by our good friends at Star Bank. We appreciate the support getting these stories on the air each week.
Hi there, Ron Shera here for Star Bank. If you're putting your money into mega banks down the street, who knows where that money's being used? It's time to make the switch. Bank locally. Keep your money local with a community bank that actually cares about you, your family, your business, and your goals. Let me give you some advice from personal experience. Check out the bank we use at Minnesota Bound. Try Minnesota's own Star Bank. You can find them online at starbank.net. When you call Star Bank, you actually hear a real living person answering the phone. Star Bank has 10 convenient locations around Minnesota to serve you and all the mobile banking products that you need to manage your money. From Maple Lake to Elbow Lake, Eagle Bend to Eden Prairie. Check out all that Star Bank has to offer at starbank.net.
All right, so I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to ask the question to trump all others. You guys grew up fishing together. You're sisters. You're competitive. Who is the better angler?
Oh, who talks it?
No, Bill, we do live in the same house, and after this phone call, I don't know if I want to have a rough night.
Not my problem. I just ask questions.
Boy, it would depend on the species. I think Shanna is better with bass, and I'm better with pike.
Okay.
I would have to agree.
That is such a diplomatic answer.
It was.
So, going back to the morning that Shannon and I fished, it feels like it's about 2:30 in the morning. The sun is just starting to creep up. I'm tired because we were up late shooting at your house, watching you guys make baits. So it was a short night. And Shanna, when you get up and you get ready to go fishing, you don't have any mid-level on your volume button. You go right to 10.
I am a very excited person.
You were just so excited to get on the boat and just fish. But I think that's a symptom of you being in the business, right? You guys spend all your time working now.
Well, yeah, because I do have a 9 to 5, and so that does eat into the fishing. I do wish to go out actually fishing more, but between the 9 to 5 and keeping up with bait demands, every time when I get out there, it is an exciting time for me.
So if you're working 9 to 5, then when are you working on the baits?
Well, from 6 to 10.
Who you kidding?
Erica kind of
up till midnight.
Yeah,
just up all night, right?
pretty much. Yeah.
So is it the sort of thing where you guys get into the shop and you almost get blinders on and you just start working and the hours just peel by?
Absolutely. And it's down in our basement, so you don't get much light.
Right.
So
Very cool shop. I did notice being down there, you two are divided from each other, right? The wood shop is over here, paint room is over here, and you guys seem to be the masters of your own kind of abodes, right?
It's best that way. It is. We have to share drill bits, and it's a problem. It's best separate down there.
Sisterly love. So that somebody is going to listen to this and say, well, I make baits. What did they do that's so special? Why can't I do this? And seriously, how does this happen? I mean, did you have to peddle your wares? I mean, what's your advice to people who want to try and become what you two have become?
I would say make baits. Make as many as you can. And once you have a bunch of them together, try a small craft show or something like that and get out there, maybe even at a fishing swap meet at an expo even or something, and get some people's opinions on your baits, and make sure, of course, fish them. That's your biggest critic is the fish.
Yeah.
Take them out and that's what I would say, because once you make a quality lure, the people will come. The people want to buy quality lures. So if you provide that, then it's usually just a matter of time.
See, and I'm a little bit thick maybe, but when I understand the story behind that bait, I wanted even more, right? Once we met each other, once we had a chance to fish together, it was like, yep, that's my popper. And that's what I will fish. Dana, that morning, how many fish do you think we caught?
Oh, I lost track in the first 20.
I mean, legitimately, we pull up to a new lake that I haven't fished before. Somebody said, yeah, might be a good spot to try. And we start casting, and it's that sound, right? That whoosh.
Yep.
Whoosh. Kapow.
It was right off the bat.
Yeah, and Eric Anderson was the photojournalist documenting that morning, and he was just laughing like, is this for real? Those are the magic days. Those are the ones you remember. So what's next for you guys?
Boy.
Oh,
it's hard.
After we hang up tonight and you debate who's the better angler, what then?
Well, I think it's more of the same for us catching up. We spend I know I have painting I'll be doing this evening after dinner. It's fulfilling retail shops, and we are kind of on the down low. We're kind of working on. We have a glider that we've put out and we've been working on for a little bit, and so we're trying to maybe think about bringing that back out.
Oh, really? For muskies?
It is a smaller musky glider. It's about 5 inches. Slow sinking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're thinking about it anyway.
What are you going to call it?
Oh, gosh, I don't know yet. I got to see how it acts, in the water and what kind of fish it brings in. And, the personality has to arise.
I was going to say, see if it's got any personality like you guys. Well, I can tell everyone out there, if you ever get a chance to meet the Stennes sisters, take the time to stop and say hello, because you guys are awesome and your baits are just as cool. And it is such a neat story. And for me, it's what Minnesota fishing is all about, right? I'm not a competitive angler. I'm not about neon jerseys and all that stuff, but I love just the magic, the story behind the fishing and the heritage, and you guys are absolutely living it. And I think that is just so awesome. If people want to find your stuff, what's the best way to track you two down?
Other than our social medias, which is just at s.s.batesco, you can get a hold of us on our website, which is ssbatesco.com.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. Trying to figure things out. Thanks again for joining us, and continued success to you guys. I'm going to need to see what this bait named after Bill looks like. Hopefully it's not too ugly.
We'll send you one.
Is it cross-eyed?
It can be.
I can put the eyes really high up on it so it really looks surprised.
There you go.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Well, everyone, thanks again for listening to the Minnesota Bound podcast. You now know the story behind SS Bait Co. and their awesome poppers. Thanks again to Star Bank for making this episode happen. And until next week, as we always say, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors. See ya.